Hey there, my name is Fallout, and god damn it, I'm opening today's video with a jackass-style disclaimer. In today's video, I'm going to attempt to talk a little bit about Bungie's brand new aerial combat system. This is in no way a ringing endorsement, nor is it me attempting to defend said new aerial combat system. There have been a lot of clips on Twitter lately regarding in-air accuracy in D2, where if you saw them, you'd flat out have no reply other than, what the f***? Again, I ain't here to defend the system, but I first want to talk about what the hell is going on, and then at the end of the video, I will give you my overall thoughts on the current aerial system. But hey, quick question. Do you want healthy and delicious meals that can be delivered right to the front door of your own home? Well, you are in luck, because today's video is sponsored by Factor 75. Factor's chef-created meals are fresh, never frozen, and designed by dietitians to ensure each meal is nutritious as well as damn tasty. No meal prep, no unhealthy fast food, and hey, no dishes. I'm actually signed up with Factor myself, and I'm pretty hype about it. Next week, I've got both habanero shredded chicken and peppercorn spiced filet mignon coming to my door, and I really can't wait. Don't get me wrong, I love to cook, but I'm kind of a busy guy, and Factor 75 helps take my mind off of meal prep and extra dishes for a few nights a week. That alone is 100% worth it. You've got options including keto, calorie smart, vegan, and vegetarian, or what I decided to roll with, chef's favorites. Yeah, it's their favorites, but I'm the one picking my meals, and they all look great. Use my link or go to go.factor75.com and use code POGFallout120 for a huge $120 off. Thank you, Factor 75. Okay, there's a couple clips out there, but they all kind of showcase the same thing. We're gonna stick to the one I've already shown, featuring an awesome PvP streamer who you should check out, Lanza. He activates Heat Rises on a Solar 3.0 Dawnblade, floops into combat, reticle essentially touching the other guy's head, pulls the trigger, no headshot? What the hell's going on? Well, according to what we know about Lanza's loadout at the time, why don't we take a look at his overall AE number. If you're a new player or don't know what the hell I'm talking about, AE is Airborne Effectiveness. Currently, if you examine any weapon in D2, while that weapon does have a particular AE value tied to it, the number ain't showed in-game. Kind of annoying. You actually have to load up a third-party app like Destiny Item Manager, Light.gg, or D2 Gunsmith. According to Bungie, we should have the number shown by Season 18 in-game. For right now, Lanza had on the Eye of Soul, which according to D2 Gunsmith has an AE value of 5. He had on the Ophidian Aspect Exotic Armor, my man, which has an AE value of 10, and he activated Heat Rises, which has an AE value of 70. Lanza later showed the roll on his Eye of Soul Sniper, which is shown to not have Icarus Grip on it, but rather Targeting Adjuster, meaning that his total AE value in this moment is 85. Now, here is the exact moment that a lot of people would pop open the following chart from the April 21st TWAB and say, "Oi, what the F, bruh?" If you haven't seen it before, this is from the TWAB where Bungie first introduced their new aerial combat system and provided the following numbers to give a better explanation of how those numbers would translate to PvP. If Lanza is at an AE value of 85, then according to this chart, that means he should have, quote, no airborne accuracy penalty with very slightly less aim assist. So how does he not get the headshot? Unfortunately, it's because that chart is referring only to primary weapons, hand cannons, scout rifles, crap like that. Again, from Bungie, all special weapons have had their in-air accuracy reduced. They did that because they like the idea of players building into being deadlier in the air, with primary weapons, but not so much weapons that have the ability to one-shot kill, i.e. special weapons. Really not trying to drown you out with the sacred text right now, but maybe the most important thing to share. Looking at this picture, every time they say the word stat, I want you to think back to that first table from Bungie showing you how your weapon would perform depending on what your overall AE number was. But the point of this new picture is to reinforce that Bungie really apparently wants to make it easier for people to spec into aerial gunplay with primary weapons and not really so much special weapons. Again, not defending, just explaining. With a hand cannon, if you build your Guardian's loadout with a 60 AE value or higher, your accuracy cone penalty will be 0, meaning 60 AE or higher, you're effectively going to be as accurate with a hand cannon in the air as you would be on the ground. With a sniper though, remember, Bungie mentioned that they don't like the idea of making special weapons as good as primary weapons in the air. Not defending, just explaining. even though a 60 AE value for a hand cannon means you'll be as accurate as you would be while on the ground, with a sniper rifle, you'll still be slapped with a 0.8 accuracy cone penalty. I get it, it's really hard to visualize what the a 0.8 cone penalty would even look like in game, but the main takeaway should be, with any special weapon, including a sniper, you'll only reach the same level of accuracy that you would be on the ground if you fully spec into 100 AE. Going back to the OG clip of our good friend Lanza not being given a headshot, remember we calculated his AE value at 85. And according to this very beautiful and not quickly rushed spreadsheet I put together using Bungie's AE values and corresponding accuracy cone penalties, Lanza's AE value of 85 would mean that because he's using a special weapon and not a primary, he's currently slapped with a 0.3 degree accuracy cone penalty. Meaning if his accuracy cone is a tad wider due to the penalty, there's more of a chance that the shot could miss. Remember, every weapon in the game has an accuracy cone, we just can't see it at all times. For all we know, with the cone penalty of 0.3 degrees, Lanza's accuracy cone at the time could have looked like this. I ain't saying it 100% does, but it could. And remember, with how accuracy cones work, that would mean that the bullet could potentially go anywhere within the accuracy cone. It's RNG, which is why we always want to minimize RNG by having an uber tight accuracy cone if possible. Okay, now that we've gone over the really exciting and not boring numbers and cone talk, what do I think of Bungie's new aerial combat system? I think we're probably at the point in Destiny where, goddamn, we really need a PTR system of some kind. I play a crap ton of Dead by Daylight, and I love that that game has a totally separate test server where they allow people to playtest new killers, new perks, new maps, new survivors, all before they eventually get dropped into the live game. I'm not a game dev and totally get how that could potentially be a nightmare to set up for D2, but good God, would it help. Dropping these huge changes into the sandbox can be really devastating, and as we've seen on Twitter, it can just lead to a ton of confusion. Also, gotta give critique where it's due. I know that explaining all of that stuff in layman's terms has gotta be a huge headache for Bungie to do, but I feel like they've kind of done a not stellar job at laying all the AE info out on the line. I've heard from a lot of people who are still really confused about the system and they don't even realize it. No shade on that guy, by the way. He's just one of many people I've heard talking about the system under the impression that the original chart given by Bungie applies to all weapons when it only really applies to primary weapons. Naturally, not being able to see the aerial effectiveness number in game on your weapons or armor blows. I'm glad that in Season 18, knock on wood, we'll be getting an update to see the actual AE number in the game. But Jesus, in the future, let's maybe not release a giant new sweeping combat system change if half the stats to understand it are hidden. I can only imagine the average player who doesn't go on Twitter or who doesn't read the TWAB every Thursday. Does that guy, gal, or non-binary pal even know what the is going on with their aerial accuracy lately? Also, for the record, I know Bungie doesn't have to reveal all their secret sauce to us, the player base. Really nitty-gritty things like AA cone and accuracy cone info, I get being hesitant to share too much of that information to new players because it can be overwhelming. But in-air combat is a feature that they want players to be able to build into under the umbrella of better build crafting. So I think it's their intent to make sure we're both fully on board with it and that we completely understand. And I think that whole thing could have gone a little bit better. And the numbers themselves, I kinda get Bungie's fear. If special weapons like snipers had the same level of in-air effectiveness as a primary weapon, meaning if you just reached an AE value of 60, they'd be as accurate as they were on the ground, things could get wild. Again though, that's where a PTR could really come in handy. Maybe things wouldn't get as wild as Bungie is afraid that they would. Maybe it would be fine. I just know that at the end of the day, it's definitely a really bad feeling knowing that unless you build into literally the maximum AE value of 100, that you're going to potentially wind up with sniper clips like this. It's just a bad feeling. You point, you click, and there's a chance that you whiff. I get what the goal was, but I think the aerial combat system is in desperate need of tweaking right now. I think the bar for ground level accurate special weapon effectiveness in the air should definitely be brought down from its current requirement of a perfect 100, and I think there should be more ways for the player to easily build into AE, because right now it seems really difficult to do without the help of heat rises. Looks like Bungie's already working on that, but yeah, seems like it was a mistake to rush it out without sharing all the numbers in game and having the requirements for special weapons be so high. But like always, I want to hear from y'all. Head on down to the comment section right now and tell me what you think about the current system. Do you like it or do you not? What would you do to make it different? Quick heads up, by the way, ring the notification bell because later in the week I'll be putting out a guide on how to farm the duality dungeon for loot on both normal and master, and you don't want to miss it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.